You wanted more, and we're going to give you more. Jeremy, tell them what we're going to do.
All right, everybody, rapid fire. We got a bunch of headlines, trending topics, sports, news, business, a little bit of everything. We're going to get it started with the Ohio dad who makes his 10-year-old daughter walk to school in 36-degree weather after she was suspended from the bus for bullying another student. Corey.
I love this because it's – I'm telling you, this is what I've been talking about in my household is like consequence. Things don't just like come to you for no reason. If you don't act right to your elders or to other people, like it's not okay. With cyberbullying, with regular bullying, any of this stuff, like people are just like forgetting how to fucking act because there's no consequence to it.
Yes.
So normally this girl would probably bully these kids, get sent home from school, and nothing happens. In my day, in most of our days, my old man or my mom would say, if you fuck it up at school and you do something, when you come home, there's even more of a consequence. And you were scared of that, actually. I like having my kids a little scared of me. They think I'm kind of crazy because they see dad on the internet dropping fucking F-bombs and lifting heavy weights. They see the same dad in the household when they fuck stuff up because I don't give a fuck. I say what I think. I tell them exactly like it is, and that, to me, is so important. So I commend this dad that he said, no, you're going to understand as you walk 5 miles to fucking school that you can't treat people that way. I commend this guy. Actually, I wish I knew where he lived. I would go and sell him the job.
What I love about it is, from my experience, again, I don't have children, but what I hear a lot of people who do have children, and I just want to understand why they may not be disciplined with them, and I've heard a lot, you just can't do that in this society. It's different. Well, this dude said, in my household, you don't bully. So she bullied, and she couldn't take the bus to work. So because she bullied, this dude stood by the principles of his family and his household. He didn't use this generation, no. What's right is right. What's fucking wrong is wrong. Can you make it to school in 36-degree weather in a 5-mile walk? Yes, you can. Does it feel good? No. But does it feel good to the person you just bullied? Fuck no. So this dad is actually following through and not giving himself an excuse to be soft on this ultra soft generation. I fucking love this guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty much I will reiterate the same thing, but there's consequences to your choices, and kids got to learn. I guarantee that the kid will never forget that they had to do that, and it actually just makes you second think before you do some stupid shit.
And it went viral.
Oh.
She definitely not going to forget it.
No, not at all.
All right, the next one is a listener request. Wants to know your opinion on the fact that Kareem Hunt can beat a woman and probably end up playing again, but Colin Kaepernick establishes a peaceful protest and is blackballed from the NFL after leading the team to a Super Bowl. John.
So what I would say about Colin Kaepernick is, me and Corey have talked about this, he'd be doing himself a disservice at this point to go back and play, even if a team wanted him, because he has become a cultural icon of at least this generation, 100%. And there's so much more. My perception is there's so much more meaning to him, what he's doing. In regards to what he's doing versus throwing the football or running the football. Now, Kareem Hunt, he abused a woman, and I believe in paying debts to society. So if it's a criminal charge and the man has to go to prison for a year, whatever the criminal justice system brings down on him, if he doesn't fuck around, doesn't do it again, and he rehabilitates himself and he pays his debt to society, okay, let him play the game again. And that's kind of outside of what I think I would feel, but I just feel like people make mistakes, and if they have a debt to society, they must pay it. And then after that, I don't think it's fair to hold people hostage. It's the people who make the repetitive same mistakes over and over again that deserve to have things taken away.
You speak on it, Mo?
Yeah, the Kaepernick situation is something totally different. I think John kind of hit it on the head. It has a different significance and a different meaning. And even for the listener who's just listening, Colin Kaepernick isn't disrespecting the country. He actually reached out to a soldier and asked an active soldier what is the best way to go about protesting the injustices with black people being killed, black people and Hispanic people being killed by police officers at a higher rate than there are white or any other race. That's what the whole protest was about. And from the NFL standpoint, they didn't want to be involved in that whole conversation. As you can call it right or you can call it wrong, but as a business, they didn't want to be involved into that whole conversation just because it's big. It's big and it encompasses everybody. And for them, they feel that it distracts.
It's a divider.
Yes, it's a divider and it distracts from their bottom line. With Kareem Hunt, is a different story. That's back in February, he had an altercation. I don't know if it was at a hotel or at his apartment. I don't know what the hallway actually shows, but where he hit the woman and the cameras end up coming out, TMZ game footage, and definitely he should have consequences for his action. But am I the person to say that he shouldn't deserve another chance? I can't say that because I've made choices and decisions where in the moment what I did made sense, but when you mature and grow, it looks like stupid shit. And I think that America needs to get off his fucking soapbox and saying that, if you did some stupid shit in 2001, that, you can't grow and learn and rehabilitate yourself. I think that I roll with the understanding that forgive as you would like to be forgiven. I'm not sure that everybody else rolls with that same understanding, but we've all done so. You can say this. I think everybody's in this room has done something stupid while they've either been drinking or under the influence, right? Sure. And if you look at that situation, 2, 3 in the morning, we've all done stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? And to the people who judge him, you probably do stupid shit. And I'm not excusing what he's done because no man should beat any woman or put his hands on a woman. But what I am saying is that if the NFL chooses like, hey, we're a private corporation and we would like this guy to help us win games, I don't own a fucking team, and I'm not a shareholder in the team. And if I was in that position, these people are trying to maximize their dollars. And we need to talk about the levels of business and how all levels don't apply to everybody because you're not in those levels. And when you're in those $1 billion, $100 million levels, it's different decision making, and it's the fuck you decision making. I'm doing what I want to do and what's best for me, and not the I feel socially cool. Everybody doesn't have that mentality.
No, because somebody will pick him up, no matter what.
If this guy,
he's in the prime of his career.
If this guy can help me win games, and this guy can help to put fans in the seat, and we can, because this is one conversation. Bring the PR people in here, bring the sponsorships in here. If you can explain to the sponsors who basically give you money to basically be in existence, and you can explain to them how this can sound good, or you can rehabilitate his image, or go through anger management, domestic violence cases, and you can start a larger conversation. Absolutely, because you have to talk about this because on some level, domestic violence in all professional sports is not going to go away.
Of course.
And you want to have a larger conversation with people at tables and say, hey, what happens when your superstar is down the drain?
Remember when LT, Lawrence Taylor,
Bro.
arguably, definitely a top 5 linebacker of all time. He had his battles with domestic violence and
absolutely,
dude, all kinds of battles.
Yes,
he's arguably the best defensive player ever, potentially.
Could be. I'm a Butkus guy.
Yeah, of course you are. The Bears.
Yeah, I guess the bottom line is, man, these are private corporations, and within context, you really can't compare one to another. Like looking at Colin Kaepernick's, it's doing justice to look at Colin Kaepernick's situation in an isolated sense and look at Kareem Hunt in another isolated. It's two totally different things.
I want to say in closing, his act that I saw, it's despicable. So anyone who's taking our business or our attempted business acumen on the situation, I don't want you guys to twist it. It's a despicable act. It's disgusting. It made me want to slap him in the fucking face. But I think what we're trying to say collectively is business is business. And these companies these ownership groups are not public. They are private. They can make their own decisions.
They're in a business to win football games.
Yeah.
Next.
Columbia University is investigating a student's deeply disturbing racial diatribe. A Columbia University student was filmed screaming at black students that white people are the best thing to ever happen to the world. Basically records a video of him saying how we've cured every disease and all this stuff. And he says, I don't hate anyone, I just love white men.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, Man, there's not a lot of reason that.
What?
I mean, I get it. Okay, so we were driving. Me and Corey and Jason were driving to another business, and we went through an area of Ohio, and we saw 2 Confederate flags. Right? Okay. Okay. So for these 2 dipshits, Ohio was part of the Union. You're not even Confederate, you fucking morons.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, people like that and people like this, they just want to be a part of something. And if there is a clique that represents white nationalism and white greatness, hey bro, they ain't got nothing else to do. They got nothing else to do. I'm not going to dig any deeper than that because I just think dude's bored
and wants attention.
Yeah, I think I'm with John on this one. It's just I think we live in the age of the internet. Well, I don't want to say the age of the internet because they reported something that actually took place, and sometimes you just get so tired of this shit. And, like I'm serious, man. You just get tired of this shit. There's definitely people who have done great things for America, the American system. There's people who have cured disease, created automobiles. You look at Elon Tesla, Elon Musk. You look at people who have invented cameras. We've done all this unbelievable shit, but we can't seem to get along with one another. You know, one of the most basic fucking things in the world. We can fucking build iPhones, but we don't know how to actually like another person because they got a different race. And that really speaks more to any fucking thing and anybody at Columbia, Harvard, Yale, Brown, MIT. I don't give a fuck who you are. But it the significance, I just don't think people believe or understand how much that shit just plays and onto the perpetual cycle of shit. You know what I'm saying? Just the perpetual stupidity of people.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
Next.
All right, I know John wants to talk about how the Bears took down the Rams on Sunday.
Yeah.
John, go ahead.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm starting. Hey, no, I'm starting.
Hey, you ain't stealing my thunder.
I'm starting this one.
Hey, listen to me right now. Okay, so you know you have a potential Super Bowl team when you get your quarterback back and he performs like I would have performed if I was the quarterback that night against a very tough Rams team.
John actually performed better than that when we beat Maurice in flag football.
I definitely performed way better than Corey. That's a fact. Throwing bombs. But anyways, okay, so when your quarterback throws 3 picks, I mean, just awful, just turning the ball over, and then you have the most high-powered offense in the NFL, bar none, and these dudes can't pull off a 2-yard run with the best 3-down back in football, and they have the most lethal passing attack as well, and they can't complete shit because every time we're either in their backfield or their fucking quarterback is getting his face smashed in, and oh, by the way, we're loving the fact that it's 20 degrees out and these dudes are fucking cold as shit. That tells me that we can play at a Super Bowl level because our offense was putrid. It was disgusting, but we still smoked the fucking Rams.
Here's the problem is, John, what I'm fearful of for you as a Bears fan is that we're going to turn back the clock to the Rex Grossman days because you had the same type of shit going on. What year was that? When did you go to the Super Bowl?
06.
06. You make it to the Super Bowl with next to no offense. You have a pretty good defense. Not as good as this one, I don't think, but it was still really good with Urlacher and Mike Brown.
Oh,
right?
that was a good defense.
It was a good defense.
That was a good
so
defense.
I hope Ohio boy Trubisky can get his shit together to be better than the Rex Grossman offense so you guys could actually contend for a title.
Yeah, but I mean, we have listen, Tariq Cohen is a great back. Jordan Howard is a bruiser, and I don't want to go too Bears heavy, but we have receiving threats as Trubisky gets more comfortable. And oh, by the way, before Trubisky missed those 2 games with injury, he was the leading rushing quarterback in the NFL. This guy is the most elusive running quarterback outside, I would say, Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. But he throws interceptions. He just got hurt, and RG3's playing there now. But Trubisky can avoid a pass rush like no one I've ever seen in a Bears uniform.
Pretty cool. Home
Bears
field
lose-
advantage is going to be tough, too, Mo.
No, I told John on Sunday or Monday or what's today?
Or yesterday.
I don't know. I was talking to John about it, but
I told Mo I
I
needed
ti-
to be 8'7" minimum.
I tell you what, man, but the defense is tough. A good defense, fuck. They'll take you deep into the playoffs, and if they get home field advantage, a lot of guys. And let me just tell you like this, and this is for the listener. A lot of guys you see in the NFL statistically are from the South or out West, guaranteed. These dudes do not like playing in any fucking cold weather.
Yeah.
They don't anything below 40. They are like, fuck that. I don't care how many pads you got on. I don't care how many sweatshirts you got on. It is a different reality when the motherfucker hits you and it's cold.
And you hit that ground, bro.
Man,
It's Soldier Field.
No, this
Shit.
is the first thing you say. Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Think about
Your
your
fingers.
Think about how dope the defense was on your championship team.
Yeah,
You had literally everybody was pros.
man, everybody was pros, and that's what I'm telling John, right? So I get the fact that you may have a struggling quarterback, but that I've never seen the Bears play until last week. I seen the first half. You get those two fucking running backs turning downhill, and you make it easier for Trubisky. It's hard, bro. So if you ever go look back in history, you ever seen the guy LeGarrette Blount?
Of course.
plays
Yeah,
for-
he's
he
playing in
played for-
Detroit right now.
Yeah.
But he was playing for New England for those years.
He was.
Nobody wants to tackle no motherfucker who's 6'4", 260
That
running.
dude's a bruiser.
Man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You feel what I'm coming
Remember
from?
when he knocked that motherfucker out in college?
Yes.
College, yes.
That fight?
He just
That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. You get into stuff like that, bro. Nobody wants to fuck with those dudes. You get a dude shifty, you get a dude running downhill. You know, you get a strong defense. You start to do clock control.
What's funny is that what you're saying is Jordan Howard is our bruising back.
The big motherfucker, yeah.
And he never, I think his best game this year was 70 yards. In the cold, he had 120. And it's because they didn't want to fuck with him, like you said.
Listen to me. I'm not coming down the hill, and this motherfucker is 200 and plus 20 pounds and hitting him. No, I'm not doing it. I'm side-swiping him, or if he doesn't get caught up in the line, shuffling his feet, but they just not doing it. And so at that point, now you can get running, now you can do play action, you can build off of that. So you need something to build off of. That's why they say a team needs to establish a run. When you establish a run, the defense has to commit to say, hey, these guys could run. Now you can kind of play them. You know what I'm saying? But if you start off passing and they know that you can't run, then you're like, okay, I can adjust personnel, run nickel defense. You know, I can play under because I can play under defense, got a great fucking pass rush. It's a lot that goes into this, but I'm telling you this, the Bears have a legit shot.
I need one more football comment from running back Maurice Clarett. Did you see Derrick Henry's 99-yard run? Where,
yeah.
Was some man shit, bro.
Yeah, but prime example. So I went down to Alabama and talked in 2016 maybe, and I say to them, this motherfucker is legit.
He's
6'4", legit probably 3-4% body fat, 250.
Just jacked.
John, we talking about no fat anywhere. Motherfucker housed at 99 yards, took the motherfucking, and then his wingspan.
Yep.
Hit sitting right here, his arm will probably touch Corey's head.
Yeah.
Literally.
Crazy.
You can't
so
touch him.
You can't touch the dude, just bigger than a motherfucker.
That was nasty. All right, next.
A CVS employee is fired for tackling a man who allegedly attempted to rob the pharmacy.
Oh.
John.
Yeah. So what's he supposed to do? So okay, so I guess the additional context would be was this guy looking suspicious, or did he actually grab something and try to run out the door?
He was stealing from the pharmacy, and the guy tackled him. And he says the worker was quoted as saying, "We're not allowed to fight back."
Okay, so to me, this is just, again, here we are in society. You own a business. Someone's stealing from you. I'm not hearing that this worker beat the fucking shit out of this guy and the dude's missing teeth and he can't. He tackled him. He prevented the theft. Dude, I mean, if that was my CVS, I'd be like, hey, employee of the motherfucking year right here. This dude's about it. If a dude's stealing toothpaste,
if you're
that's my kind of guy.
Yeah, if you're to me, that's the ultimate level employee. If you're
that's
ready
the last action hero, Mo.
Yeah, if you're ready to go tackle a motherfucker stealing at CVS, then you're about the business. I think you give that motherfucker promotion.
Man, bro.
I'll hire him. What's his name?
Bro, listen to me. We live so much in a world of rules and technicalities. That is honorable. First of all, if a motherfucker's robbing a pharmacy, whether he had a knife or a gun, and you choose to put yourself in harm's way to try to protect everybody else. Like that's bad. That's a bad look on CBS's part.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, maybe he listened to your Teddy Roosevelt segment.
Hey, maybe he did. You know. Hey, yeah.
All right, pretty funny today. Just saying.
Oh, dude, absolutely. That's why we're doing stand-up.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Jeremy.
No, outgoing.
The Winklevoss twins ignore the crypto winter and are looking toward 2019. They are not deterred by a significant drop in crypto's value over the course of 2018.
John, these are your homies.
Yeah, they're my ex-partners. They're great guys. They're fucking
Ballers.
Really smart guys. They're Olympians. They graduated from Harvard. If there's anybody I trust, these guys bought Bitcoin when it was worth nothing, and they're the first Bitcoin billionaires. So if there's anybody I trust, although they're vested with their exchange that you could buy from with Gemini, so they have an interest in talking about this the way they are, these guys understand how to play at the big level. So they got everything regulated in New York. They spend a bunch of money. They spend a bunch of time. Bottom line is this. I want them on my team. So if that's their outlook, being someone who isn't as educated as them in that space, I want them on my team. I'll follow that lead.
I mean, basically, they're like the essential leaders of Bitcoin, don't you think, Johnny? I mean,
First Bitcoin billionaires.
First Bitcoin billionaires. They're the ones, Mo, that basically started Facebook.
Yeah, I remember.
Zuckerberg ripped it off of them, and they got, what, $200 million?
A cash in stock. I mean, who knows? But I heard it was
like
about
that.
$250 million.
Yeah. I think, what is the actual current price, Jeremy? Do you know, of Bitcoin?
Last I saw, it was around 4,500.
Okay, so it's dipped down quite a bit.
I'm not sure what it is right now.
Either way, they got it for next to nothing. These guys are whatever this ends up being. That's what I think is interesting about Bitcoin. What does it end up? Is it ever reach those 20
I think
Gs?
it's all about regulation.
Yeah.
And it's all about Walgreens and Walmart and accepting it, right? Because the more widespread it is, you know what I'm saying? And because you can use fractions of it.
I think that's the fight.
That is the fight.
It is the fight.
To me, the fight is, if I'm like, if I'm an established system, right?
And you start accepting it.
Like the American dollar.
Yeah, if I'm an established system, Walmart, Amazon, Walgreens, I know for a fact I'm going to have this other established system from Washington who can't control the shit on Wall Street and say, fuck these young motherfuckers getting money. They won't say it like that, but it'll be laced inside their conversation.
Of course.
These motherfuckers are turning into millionaires overnight. I've worked my ass off for years. Fuck these dudes.
But
that's really a lot of people's conversations,
absolutely, but that's why I bring up these two, because they're smart enough to understand that, and they went right at the system and they said, hey, here, let me lay it out for you. Let me show you how it works. And that's how it popped. Because they ran towards the regulation. I do understand what you're saying with the establishment, but here's the truth between blockchain technology and the Fed. Okay? The Fed can play with the value of the U.S. dollar. If I'm the chair of the Fed, right? Alan Greenspan was for a long time. Alan Greenspan can literally manipulate our currency. China's famous for it.
Yes.
You cannot manipulate blockchain. It's like a fucking eBay rating, right? Like if you don't ship something to somebody, you're getting fucking 1 star. It regulates itself. So I think the more there's understanding, the more accepted this will be. But I agree they have a monster fight because they're fighting the system.
So what I was going to say, so what happens when, this is just my thoughts.
Sure.
What happens when somebody calls, let's say Target and Walmart, the CEOs or the shareholders, whoever happens to be in power, and they say, fuck you, bitch, don't accept this shit. You know what I'm saying? And these are like, so I might talk frank and blunt, but I be thinking like these are like, because I think like, regular business just like criminals, right? In so many ways. Crime. A lot of people on this phone or not on this phone, this podcast, never been
on this dial phone.
Yeah, on this dial phone. A lot of people never been criminals, but the thinking is very criminal, and it's like
it's all leverage based.
Bitcoin has no value if Bitcoin can't circulate. Money is value because it can circulate and buy things and trade things and circulate and get you property and food and so on and so forth. I think that the fight is them stopping where Bitcoin is accepted from large corporations to keep it like, okay, you can go buy a stool from China, but you can't go fucking buy real estate. You can't. That's like my when I look at it, I
But
feel like
it's up to the business. So correct me if I'm wrong, Jeremy. I believe Amazon takes Bitcoin.
I believe you're right.
Somebody
I know,
does.
I
I
know,
didn't
I know
know
that.
that.
Like Overstock.com was one of the first places
Yeah.
that they started collecting Bitcoin.
So
and other-
Richard Branson,
I know he did, yeah.
is a homie of the Winklevoss, if you want to
Of
call him
yours.
that, and he's pushing
into his
with them.
empire.
Yep.
And there's a lot of companies who are starting to take it, but where it's very, very effective is there's this whole multi-billion-dollar industry, Western Union, where people who live here, let's say they live, they're from Mexico, they send money back home. Well, that's expensive. But taking Bitcoin and transferring it to someone's Bitcoin wallet in Mexico
It's
is
free.
Yeah. So they could.
Oh.
There's a lot of people
Feel me?
moving money around. Then
So I think that the
So you can buy Bitcoin, transfer it, and
yeah, Mo, what's your wallet? I'll transfer you to Bitcoin. If I want to send money to someone back in Tijuana, I got to go to Western Union, get a pay. You know, you take a percentage of what I pay.
So they're going to spend time just educating people on how it can.
But here's the problem, right? It all popped off when this website Silk Road popped off, and Silk Road was a place where drugs were sold online, and the reason it was online for so long is because the only form of currency it took was Bitcoin, because it can't be traced. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I think that's where the government may say, how do we know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, and it's an internet.
I mean, it's deep, bro.
Yeah.
This shit goes deep.
And
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
and I think that there was a lot of fucking shaky stuff going on through it because of that. Just all.
If you're a
all through.
politician and you're going to get a
money.
payoff, like if I'm the mayor and I want a payoff and you own a construction company, you want to bid, I would say send me $7 million in crypto. No, nobody can find it.
Yeah.
But if you send it to my bank account, everyone can see it.
They're going to block it just because of that.
Or they're going to try to get the regulation tighter.
or politicians are going to be like, hey, this is how the faucet gets turned on. I'm serious.
Donald Trump did. Right?
This motherfucker. All right, next, Jeremy. We got one more.
Speaking of Trump, last one.
Oh, there it is. God, Jeremy, you always do this to me.
And John's going to answer first.
I'm going to try not to.
Fox News contributor says Trump is likely to be indicted on campaign finance violations. The former director of the FBI, James Comey, also says if Trump weren't president, he would be in serious jeopardy over Cohen.
I can't speak on any of this stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
anything
no.
about
So
it.
first of all, I said I was about to make a joke and say Trump got all his money in Bitcoin, but
He might.
I'll let John. I'm not educated on
So,
this.
yeah.
he bought a Russian building in Bitcoin.
So,
You heard it here first.
Bought
So
the
give me-
penthouse
so
for
hold on.
Putin in Bitcoin.
So give me. So can you give us context on all this stuff? Because I like literally.
know anything about
For
it.
anybody hear me talking shit on politics, I really don't know. I just know
so
headlines.
Same.
It's okay. So we talked about the Mueller probe.
Okay, I got that.
And how everyone's going down like a mob boss. And it came out that in the probe, that individual number one is Donald Trump. That's the code name for him in this probe.
Okay.
And
Rico.
yeah, individual number one directed Cohen, who is his right-hand man and lawyer, who flipped on Trump, to pay off at least two of his extramarital affairs. I think one was $130,000 and one was $100. I don't know the other
Stormy
amount.
Daniels was the first
Stormy, and then the other one was
I don't know the second
okay.
one.
Yeah, the second one was a playmate. And what they're saying is that money, I believe, came from the campaign fund. So that right there,
Spend your own money, Donald, not the
is-
fucking campaign money. That is the worst.
that's a kill shot.
So that's
right
the
there.
public's money donating you to go be a president, not to pay off your strippers.
Right.
or
That-
Okay.
porn stars.
Yeah,
Porn
there's very strict rules
For
around
campaign
campaign finance,
Yeah.
and if you notice, politicians, or you may not notice, but politicians always want to talk about decriminalizing campaign finance violations. They said, "Oh, just give us a fine." They want to decriminalize it because they want to have access to.
They
that
want it to be
money.
blank check.
Right.
Blank check time.
Blank check bread, and
It's an amazing nickname, though. But that is what they want, Johnny.
it is. And all I can say is when I went back home to Chicago, I got in a heated argument with a friend. We both stood up. But anyways,
Dude, you're epic for that.
yeah, I'm really good at it.
At the Christmas table.
Not at, this wasn't family. This was a friend who was saying, watch, nothing's going to happen to Trump. And I said, listen, I don't want anything to happen to Trump, but I'm just looking at the facts here, and everyone is going down like dominoes, and everyone's flipping on him. And who's the general?
Craven?
No. Who you referenced?
Oh, former FBI director.
Yeah, Comey.
James Comey.
Yeah, James Comey, FBI director, very big time guy. This is another guy that's just like this dude's dead meat. Like they know what's going on. So I don't know what's going on. All I know is when guys like that go on the record and say like dudes are done, they know a lot more than we do.
I met the White House chef this last weekend. He'd been the White House chef since '97, I think. So he'd been through multiple presidents, bodybuilder dude, big jacked up guy. Had like a brief conversation. He had a very similar take. He's former military too, of Colby. He said that's the commander, and like I tried to ask him about Trump a little bit, not really prying, but just like, and he said that's the commander in chief. Did I like this president over that president? Maybe personally, but that's a possibility. But he's the boss,
right?
And it was very like military answer, which I expected. But it was I don't know. I think I have. Ever since Colby was on there, I have a little different perspective. Like him or hate him, commander-in-chief in a military fashion, he is your boss. He's the elected boss. That's it. That's it. That's final for them, and I get that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I will say this. Colby did definitely help me out and give me a different perspective on how people may view that position. 100%. Yeah. I actually like Colby more.
Same.
I don't know when he fight. I found out from John. Probably knows when he fights.
I think he's going to fight in February.
In February, yeah. I'd be interested to see him fight.
His last IG post was amazing.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Great. It was great.
No, so I've actually found like other fighters. There's so what Colby is doing to Tyron Woodley, there's another Nigerian dude doing that to Colby.
Yeah, Usman.
Whatever his name
Kamaru
is.
Usman.
Yeah, so
really,
he called him out.
So basically, now I'm seeing that the Nigerian guy must realize that these antics on Twitter or social media,
they work.
They work.
Of course they do.
It's
entertainment.
But you know, it made me interested. Guy, I don't even watch fighting, know nothing about fighting. Now I'm going to watch highlights to do. Of course, your highlights make you look good.
Yeah, of course.
And then now you're looking at this guy.
Cute story.
It's a cute story, and so now you're like, this stuff actually works. But I don't know this stuff with Trump, man. Put like this, to your point, Corey. As the commander of our country, you want Trump to do well.
Yeah.
And you want whoever sits at the helm to do well. But at the same time, I would like the country to have us treat each other well. And please, if they've never got anything off this podcast, you can be smart as you want to be, but if you can't understand how to fucking get along with people, you're a piece of shit. I don't give a fuck how many supplements you've made, cameras. Fuck, I always use supplements. Stay in my line of the eye.
Corey's like, is that a shot at me?
Yeah, no.
Fuck you, man.
It doesn't matter, bro.
But not really.
Some of the basic shit in the world is, can you get along with a fucking human being?
Yeah.
Like, take that one to the bank. Can you fucking get somebody to actually like you for being yourself? I think that's
you ain't gonna be successful if you can't.
A lot of this is respect against other human beings. I think
bro,
I think that might be the bigger thing.
Respectful disagreement, I think, is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. We out of here, right, Jeremy?
We out.
Maurice Claret, Johnny Fosco.
Oh,
can the podcast be stopped?
The podcast can't be stopped.